Alright, welcome on back to another episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bringing you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Cradle of Liberty 525 out of Pennsylvania. This council was formed in 1996 as the merger of Philadelphia 525 and Valley Forge 507. Heading on over to the patch table, we have the first issue, SA1, with its dark blue border, blue background, dark blue fleur-de-lis, black letters, 13-star flag, Independence Hall, and log cabin. So this was the first issue. It was a special issue or activity issue. They do list this as having 500 been made, so not a ton. Can be a little bit harder to source. Take a look at the back. This is a plastic backed patch. So the first issue, SA1, is distinct because of its dark blue border. They then came out with their first regular, which on the channel, as you guys know, for our collection, when the first issue is an activity issue, we also try and collect the first regular. The first regular would be the S2 and what would become known as the S2A. So since this was the regular issue, they had multiple production runs, and in this case, as subsequent production runs came out, there were enough differences that they started labeling them as variations S2A, S2B, S2C. The B and C are actually very easy to differentiate, at least from the A. The A is going to have the same thick smoke pattern coming out of the log cabin, so we know this is going to be an S2A. The S2B and C have this thin little wavy white smoke. It's just a thin little white line, and then the difference between the B and C is the B is listed as a light yellow border, the C is listed as a yellow border. So you can see some difference in those colors. We don't happen to have an S2B or C to show you today. I will say the first two, SA1 and S2A, are kind of the longer style CSPs, especially this S2A. The S2B and C, of which I have seen pictures, are certainly a little bit more rounded, which also help you identify that you're either looking at an S2B or an S2C. With that thin white smoke, looks just very different than what you're seeing here on screen, and so that would be the first clue. It is not an S2A. Taking a look at the back here of the S2A, also just a clear plastic back. And so there you have it. First issue SA1 as well as the first regular issue S2A for Cradle of Liberty. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of First CSP. We'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode of First CSP as well. We hope to see you back for that. But until then, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.